We have decided, the husband and I have decided to do our third transfer. E is 5, King is 3, and I'm 34. Finally gotten to a place where I think I can handle pregnancy again. And also a place where we can be okay with it not working. I think for a long time I was like, hell no, I can't do pregnancy again. It was too traumatic, too many things went wrong. And then for a while, like baby fever kicks in and you're like, oh my god, I need it to work. And finally, I think I've struck this balance between like it has to work and it's okay if it doesn't. Like happy either way is kind of the theme of this. Heading into the fertility clinic to get the saline sonogram and vitamin D blood draw. That went actually super easy. It's weird to see some of the same people that I haven't seen for almost 4 years now still working there. And the saline sonogram took like all of like 2 seconds. I assume it looked good because they didn't say anything to me. And blood draw went really easy peasy in and out of there in like 30 minutes. It's only April. I started birth control pills a few days ago and woof! Hi, have I been hormonal ever since? No desire to go on birth control for realsies after this. I had to get my saline sonogram, my vitamin D draw, and then I think I'm good until literally we start progesterone and oil and all of the rest of that. So we won't have to do that, I think, until the end of June. We do have a transfer date picked out. We'll see what happens. Babies come whenever they come. We'll see if this transfer even works. Happy either way. Gonna be the slogan of the transfer. Hello ladies, doesn't this make you feel like back in the early days? I feel like when I was recording updates from hotel rooms, that feels like a whole lifetime ago. But we're back in a hotel room. Actually, I'm in San Antonio right now. Hold on. Look. You see? I am right down, like, by the Riverwalk. Anyway, here for a conference, a tech and teaching conference. I can't remember if I mentioned in my last update that I've switched jobs, but that's for a different update. This is just the what you need to know about fertility treatments. We have decided to do our last embryo transfer, and right now, like, certain people know that it's happening, but our like really close family doesn't know it's happening because it just matters the most to them. They have the most to lose. So I took my last birth control pill last night and I'm so happy. You have no idea. Like yesterday I was in this beautiful place and I was all alone, like freedom galore, and I'm like down by the river and I'm like, why am I like just so angsty right now? And I was like, that's right, I'm on birth control. My like just neutral state right now is just angsty. So I'm so glad for that to go away. Yes, I know there's worse things to come, but like, let me have this moment. As soon as I get back, I get my baseline ultrasound and start estradiol and baby aspirin, and then my shot should be there. I think in my last update, I said I had to be good either way, and I've kind of refined that. Thank you, therapy. I am good either way because the goal of this transfer isn't necessarily to have a baby. The goal of this transfer is to be done with infertility and close this chapter completely. I described it as this low hum in my life, even as we've been raising, you know, E and King, and like that has been happening. It's just been this constant buzz, like there's another embryo, we have to go back to infertility at some point, da 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 da. And as soon as we made this decision, it's like someone shut off the air conditioner. And you know that silence that happens that kind of startles you, like, oh, I didn't know that was there? That's exactly what it's felt like. So there's 100% chance we're done with infertility after this. There's a 60-ish% chance we will have a baby. And it's that 100% that's really, really important. I think it's important to recognize that we're in a completely different phase of infertility than way back at the beginning. Certainly when we were, you know, doing our egg retrieval or even our first transfers or the adoption, like that is just this level of desperation that you want to become a mother, and that's not where I am, not where people who are later in their infertility treatment are. We're done with infertility. This is the only reason I need to like be on birth control. Minus my ovaries trying to explode again. That's it. Again, different story time, different day. I wanted to recognize that feeling of like, this is the last time that I'll have to go on birth control. And like, these are the last progesterone and oil shots. Like, this is it. And there's something really encouraging and heartening about that fact that makes this easier than some of the other transfers. That, and I have my 2 precious babies at home. But it's all an interesting mental game with infertility. Anyway, check in with you later. Bye. Got the folder with all the instructions. Lining is good and thin. I'll go back in, let's see, in 13 days to see if my lining is thick and if we can keep our transfer date and if we can start progesterone levels and all of that. But otherwise, it looks good. Time to start Smurf pills and baby aspirin. I forgot, same day. I forgot one of the most important, like, new things. Obviously, we're gonna do, you know, the baby aspirin and the estrogen and the PIO injections, but there's something I'm doing different this cycle. And it's something that my therapist suggested to make sure that after every single appointment, like, there's something good. Essentially, like, put in a conditioning element to every single appointment. So no matter if the news is good or bad, like, it still ends on a good note. And I latched onto that so fast. So now, as part of every single appointment, crumble cookie. So, flavor of this appointment, oh, whoops, nope, that's the husband's. Yeah, I'm not mean. I'm not gonna just go to Crumble and not get him a cookie too. Look, this is mine today. So it's like ice cream, swirl, chocolatey, space goodness. Really excited. So that's part of my protocol this cycle too, is a Crumble cookie after every appointment. All right, check in later, bye. I'm back. I forgot there was a blood draw today, but that's okay. It was only 1 file. So I was running late, so I didn't get to do a little intro, but I was just going to do my lining check. It went really, really well. It's 10.6. It just needed to be above 7, so going really, really well. Got my blood drawn, so as long as my progesterone levels are low, we are good to go for my transfer on Monday. So today is Tuesday the week before. So hopefully I get a message tonight that progesterone was low, so I'll start my progesterone and oil tomorrow. She said tomorrow's the only day that I do 2 doses, and then it'll be 1 dose after that. And I'm at a higher dose. I assume we had issues getting my progesterone up during my first cycle, so we bumped it up. The cycle with Kay, we were on this dosage as well. Okay, on a less technical note, I'm just waffling every single day between this is like, I need a baby or I'm actually going to perish, and this is stupid. Why are we doing this? We should cancel it. But we have a family policy that we've had for many years now that while I am on hormones, either artificial or due to pregnancy, we don't make big decisions like moving, quitting jobs, changing kids' schools, buying vehicles, anything big, which canceling a cycle would be considered big. We don't do that. And I'm not saying like if I really legitimately wanted to, we couldn't cancel, but I'm just saying that that kind of thing falls in the big category, and it just sets up alarm bells of like, oh yeah, we've decided that I'm not in the headspace to make those kind of decisions. But I'm really glad. Estrus has been going pretty well. I've been a little bit like cranky, but not bad. Me and birth control just so don't mix. I was such a bee during those 3 months, especially that last month. And estrus, I've been really on top of it. Like, it's felt easier to manage than I thought. Maybe it's because we're on summer vacation. What else do I got to do? And yeah, like emotionally not too bad. I think like the actual ramifications of what we're up to have been more emotionally distressing than the medication, which is good. Did you think I forgot to go get my crumble cookie? Today's flavor is like a blue raspberry icy, and I don't like how easy it was to make me conditioned to be like happy at every appointment. All it took was a cookie this whole time. But I'm gonna enjoy this and then enjoy the rest of my day. See you guys later. Just did my very first progesterone shot. It sucked. And I think what I said was IVF is insane and why do any of us do it? And then I remembered I have a whole back catalog of like 200 videos to remind me why I did that. I think this last ultrasound was able to lock in, was like, there's no way, no matter what happens, Monday we're done. Like I never have to pay for another cycle, none of that, and we're just done. But if it comes back negative, there's also then like, you know, grieving the potential. Like this is truly it, we're closing that chapter, we're moving on. But then there's the reality that I'm in a good mental space. Again, the last probably 6 months to a year, I felt myself again after infertility, pregnancy, babies, you know, that all messes with you. So there's the reality that we could come out of this, there could just be a few months of like, well, that was a lot of faffing about for nothing. And I get to continue on in like a good mental state, in a job that I like, and just not have a huge disruption of pregnancy and babies and all of that. So there's the grief there of losing our last chance to add to our family, but there's also the reality of like, I don't have this 2 to 3 year reset, really closer to 4, that has to happen again. And obviously I'm willing to do that to add to our family, but there is just this reality that is positive. So I know I've rambled a bit, but it's just to point out the difference in this cycle, that there's not like this positive outcome and this negative outcome. There are 2 outcomes that both have their own pros and cons, and that's just a way different feeling. And I think like that moment that first PIO injection went in, I was like, this is stupid and what am I doing? And then like, you know, it was over and I was like, that's right, we made this decision and this is why we're doing it. But I don't think I would have even questioned it like our first cycle, if that makes sense. On the positive side, I have 2 children, so you know, our family is good, but also I'm very busy. I'm very busy, so like this idea of having to keep myself busy every second of every day is like way easy to accomplish. And I'm also just, I don't know, I've taken it very seriously the last few weeks to like not let myself get not worked up, but like overstressed about things. It's summer vacation, I want to stay calm. This is probably the calmest I've ever gone into a cycle. So we'll see if that old adage that so many wise people have said of just don't stress and it'll all be fine turns out to be true. Okay, thanks for listening to my ramblings. Bye.
You wanna know what?
What?
I was just sitting on that thing,
Yeah.
and then
Don't touch any of that, baby.
Oh, is that a needle?
It is a needle.
What is it for?
It's for the medicine that's making mommy so cranky. Ouch, but I just poked myself with it.
I'm glad. Then you should touch this part, not that part.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Oh look, Jenna, I need a piece. I'm just gonna hold this. Hey, it's like the needle that they used to give me a blood draw.
Yeah. Let's try that again. Be a little more careful. There. Here, the cover clicked in. There, now it's safe, but we put it in this sharps container. This is a container for things that are sharp, like the name sounds like. And then we put that away, put that in.
I'm glad these are.
Touch it, yeah. That's not sharp.
Yeah, just little pokey things.
Alright, leave that there for Daddy. It is Monday, July 21st, and it is officially transfer day. We have a noon appointment for transfer. The husband is working from home in the kitchen right now. It is super storming. We have already lost power, so I don't hope the clinic hasn't lost power. I assume they have all backup generators, doesn't matter. But here we go. We're heading in. It's kind of weird. I think it really struck me last night that this is the end, like this is the last transfer we'll ever have, and like each shot, each pill is literally getting one closer to the last one, ever. I really can't wait for this one to be done. And then obviously for the 2-week wait to be over, so I know one way or another. There's just so many plans. Like, just there's a whole little mental list of things that I'm not letting myself plan until we get a positive or a negative, from, you know, content for here, and like, okay, you know, getting extra lesson plans on and recording classes for my maternity leave, or on the flip side, friendcation next summer and family trips and stuff like that. It's just so much my next year it matters, right? Pregnancy is a big deal. So this whole cycle has been a weird kind of calm until it's not. Very contrast to just like the constant anxious feeling of previous cycles. This has just been like, we're cool until like moments where I'm not. Part of that I noticed was I haven't set a single alarm. I remember distinctly in my other transfers like having a whole set of alarms to make sure I took all of my medications, and neither me or the husband has set a single alarm. I don't know if that's just because we're veterans of this or what, but I haven't missed a single pill or anything or shot, and I don't know, it's just kind of folded into our routine better. Maybe because it's just one of a million things we have to do because we have the 2 kiddos now. But yeah, now it's just a routine. I make up the shot, he comes up at 9 o'clock, gives it to me, we watch an episode of an anime. I wish I'd known this earlier, like put positive triggers like behind every possible negative thing. So from shots to appointments, obviously with appointments I'm doing crumble cookies, but with the shots now, it's an episode of a show that I don't watch during the day. This is the only time I get to watch it, so it's the special treat after that, and it's really made a big impact in like moving on and getting over whatever happened in that appointment or the shot and just like going on. It's been really helpful. So yeah, I know I'm not like, oh, so excited probably like before, but I don't know, the whole thing's been really like, I don't know, chill. We're just getting through it to get through it, and when we get a result, maybe I'll feel way different, but for now, breathe out, move on. Okay, we are post-transfer. We're actually like way post-transfer. Later in the night, I had to snag the kids from summer camp. And it went really well. Our embryo was a grade 4 AA, so excellent quality, which doesn't really matter because it's PGS tested, so that trumps any grading. Once you've had them PGS tested, the grades don't actually matter anymore. But it still feels good. It's a perfectly round embryo. It looks so nice and perfect. After that, we went and got McDonald's and crumble cookie because, okay, and I already started eating, okay? But it's this delicious, like, Twix situation. There you go. Yeah, it's like shortbread and caramel and chocolate, and it was a great choice in my life. Because obviously you need McDonald's French fries after an embryo transfer. And you also, I've said that after every appointment I get a crumble cookie, so it was an indulgent kind of day. The transfer went really well. My doctor did absolutely frighten the bejesus out of me by telling me that it was the opposite sex of what it is. She's like, so you expected, do you want to know the sex? And I was like, I already know. She's like, and I was like, nope. Incorrect, but she literally just read her notes wrong. She had the embryologist double, triple check for us, so we're all on the same page. But I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have not decided yet whether I'm gonna test early or make it. If you've been around since the very beginning, you know I have literally never waited till my HCG test, not once, not even gotten close. So we'll see how long I decide to hold out. I don't know how else I'm gonna know because I'm reacting very differently to the progesterone and the estrogen this time around. I have to say that if I'm trying to symptom spot, like it's gonna be useless. The girls are tender. I've been super sleepy because of the progesterone. I've had on and off again nausea. Like, what is that from? So I don't think there's anything really left that's helpful. I did let myself do one thing. I've been really good. I haven't bought anything. I haven't like looked up things. I haven't like made timelines because it's just, you know, my 2026 looks really different depending on how this goes. I did finally look up the due date. April 8th would be the due date. So that means I'd probably deliver sometime in March. Since it's high risk in IVF, they generally don't let you go past 38 weeks. It's my one little reward for today is actually looking up when that would be. Because I did it a long time ago when I was choosing the transfer dates, but I just had a range. So I didn't know the exact due date after we chose this transfer date. So here we go. Today is Monday, so I get my HCG test not this Friday, but the following Friday. But then we're supposed to leave for a wedding the next day. So I think I might test early just so I have a little more gap in my life to process all of that before we're supposed to go be happy at a wedding. Okay. Check with you later. Bye.